Hey guys, it's Safe63 here. I'm back right where we left off. Exactly where we left off. Now, you can go through here, but don't. It's just not, well, you can, but on the PC version, with this kind of screen setup, there's not enough room. You're gonna end up getting very easily lost. Better off taking the other, shorter route. These guys are arachnids. They're not too dangerous. I think they can do something. I think they cast Quake, which can be annoying, but they're not too dangerous. Plus, considering you have float up, it won't even work anyway. You see, this is the thing. These enemies set up in a place where you're essentially floating, so you don't get affected by the ground shaking. Also, they're weak to ice. They're gonna instantly, if they're gonna keep spamming that, you're pretty much gonna take no damage from them at all. If you don't have float up, this can hurt, but realistically you would have float up here because of the dungeon layout. It's almost like these enemies are not... These enemies would have been a threat everywhere else, but they're not here. Kind of thing. They can attack you, that's about it. Is one of the few dungeons I can complete their diary only because I want that Feymarch. I want all the Soma drops. Here's where there's some real goodies. Like I said, you can head through around that way as well. High Potion, Poison Axe, which can poison, and another Kichimanoni. I don't know how to pronounce that. Equipped him with both of those, they're better than the Ashura. Kane can have the Poison Axe, it's stronger. It takes away more of the stats, but it's just more powerful, and it may inflict poison. It just means you'll hit even harder. Yeah, I really maintain the more hitting hard type here, only because I don't want Cecil's, and my Cecil stats will suffer from going that path. Now, gonna go and just make sure I get that little piece of the floor down here, so I'm not missing anything. Now I got that 4. Now we're gonna head that way. Now there's one more item, and this item is for Cecil. And while it's not an item I will keep on him forever, it's good for him now. One, it's the best item I'm gonna get up to this point, as a weapon for Cecil. Oh god, these guys. Don't like these guys one bit, and it doesn't help that they back attacked us. I want you as Tamperosa have us Shell, Dual Cast Shell, and Cura everybody. They can do some. These guys are nasty. Now, these are the Thunder Dragons, which can drop a. What is it? Blue tail. I think that gives you something important. I don't remember what. It gives you something. We're gonna... But it's a 0.4% chance of getting it. The likelihood you're gonna get it is small. Not impossible, just not likely. With Shell, these guys are not too bad. Finding you have Shell and Cecil, these guys are actually... Among dragons, they're probably some of the weaker ones, but you still want to be cautious. Slow can help, by the way. Have Cecil defend or attack. It's not too much of concern, but you still want to be a bit cautious. They give a lot of experience, though, so... If you fight these guys, they're going to give you a ton of experience. Slowing them down also helps. These enemies can be pretty tough if you're not prepared. Just hit them as hard as you can, though. But don't use Rama, they absorb lightning. Just so you know. Because in order to beat these enemies, you don't want to heal them, you want to hurt them. So, don't use lightning attacks on them. Because that's kind of, they're resistant to lightning. I think that I can just whack this guy and he should be gone. No, he's actually pretty durable. But I'm gonna keep whacking. I think I should have Cecil attack now. like having Cecil sitting there and doing nothing. He can take some punishment. And there's only one of them trying to punish him. It's less of a concern that I have Cecil not defending. Because I want to end this battle quickly before it gets any more nasty. Probably I didn't need a dual cast there. Damn, I was actually running low on magic. That could be a problem. But not much one. Cecil can heal too, so I can always have him alternate healing outside of battle. As long as we don't fight tons of those enemies. To be honest, they're not common. I'm not gonna lie, they're not a common enemy to be facing here. But they can turn up, so be warned. Now the center path above us is where we're supposed to go. But one last thing you want to pick up is the defender. Remember how we saw those fell knights and imps? Yeah, well, okay. But this is not as bad because it's only one. Attack. Jump. This will not go too badly as long as I cast... I'm gonna want Cecil to cast Shell on himself. Think about it. Shell on yourself. And then you keep attacking or healing as needed. I can have an edge attack as well. He can't do much, but... I could have... Actually... Maybe it's a good time to demonstrate a bit of the throw command. I have a ton of shurikens, so... Where are they? Here. These items are designed for throwing. You can throw any weapon, by the way. Heck, in the final boss fight, it recommends you do this. But... See? It hurts. The shurikens hurt. A lot. Jump. But I'm not going to do it too often. I want to conserve shurikens. But I just want to show that off. How much damage the shurikens can do if you use them. Like I said, these guys are not too much of a threat providing you take them out quickly. Generally they increase in threat the more of them you're facing. Ooh, they decided to turn up all over the place. Alright. I might actually throw another shuriken because damn, I'm sick of these goddamn enemies by now. I got 99 of them. And they're not that expensive. Jump, attack, defend. Shurikens do a ton of damage. It's kind of Edge's trump card if things go wrong. Damn it, Cecil. Hit. It's not a hard concept. Edge will not... The one advantage of using Edge's physical is he's not gonna miss. Unlike Cecil has been doing for me a lot lately. Thank you, Kane. Oddly enough, Kane's using the more inaccurate weapon and yet he's not missing. But Cecil's missing every 5 seconds. Come on, Cecil. Don't miss too much. Oh, flip. Okay, it's just one of you. I'm glad it's something else. I'm sick of seeing those other guys. Jump. If you generally most enemies here don't last too long if you take an incredibly offensive approach. They tend to die fast. Just do lots of damage. And you can tell you've killed an enemy who's been stunned when that happens. See how my team is gaining. See, Rosa's pretty tough now. It's less of a concern. Said you can head through them, but you want to head up here first. In addition to map completion, even if you're not trying to complete the map, which I am, because there's one of the few times when I actually want to complete the map. There's some really good items on this floor. I mean, really good. You don't want to miss item. First off, it is elementally neutral, which means should the enemy have an elemental weakness or resistance, irrelevant. So it's a good item to have on you in all circumstances. And it does generally fairly well in most standard setups. I should really have Cecil heal himself. He doesn't need to attack, particularly with his low accuracy. He can heal himself, anywho. He can get his attack out of his counters if the enemy tries to hit him. As an enemy, that's the only damage I can do is hitting him. It's one of those things that they turned up, you know, in a lot of dungeons it'd be a threat because you weren't prepared. But just because of the irony of this dungeon's layout, they actually don't do a whole lot because you need a thing that nullifies their ability up anyway, just to traverse the location. Now, while you will lose some advantage against some enemies, you're going to have less problems against wider varieties. If you don't want to have any elemental weaknesses or resistances, this weapon is very good, plus it does something that really is going to help Cecil. Now, it still is replaceable later, because you're going to want Cecil hitting harder, and this weapon's not the heaviest weapons you can get for him, particularly. But it's a good non-elemental weapon. Defender. And be warned, this thing's actually guarded by these guys, although you probably fought them one or twice before you've got here. They're not that much of a threat as long as you are prepared to take them out. It's good to have Cecil defend, and summon a dragon tends to work on these guys. Once this is all over, I can actually go over the important thing that's going to happen next. In here. Because there's something really important that you're going to need to... There's a lot of important things that you need to do in this place. It's probably the most important place. This game. For many reasons. There's actually one thing that hasn't turned up in this one, and it's creature known as White. Think of it in the it's a gimmicky little character you get in the DS version. I don't know why it's technically it hasn't appeared in this game, really. What White is a small Eidolon that takes on the form of, well, he can do anything, really. He trains with you, he grows stronger while training with your characters. Increases stats depending who he trains with, whether it's Rosa, Lydia. I have the hardest trouble with the mind. Oh, flippin' hell, it had to be you guys. Summon dragon. I just want them all to be slowed down so they don't pop off as many of those. Perfect timing, Kang. Couldn't have timed that bad, huh? That's the thing about jump, is it gives you a chance that even after your entire turn's over. Now, I haven't quite completed this whole area yet. This video still has a good 6 minutes. Time to go over the actual place. Now that I've pretty much gone over all the this is the Feymarch. This is the Feymarch. So, you know, this is where Lydia lived. There's a few things you want to pick up here. Ether. That's a good item. Beastry. There's a few items I'm going to pick them all up before we continue. I believe that's where we're supposed to go, but first things first. Wagtail. You want that. That is probably one of the singly most important items you're going to come here. Even if you're not going to do the other stuff here, grab that. You're going to need that. Heck. And really, it'll be a little difficult, but you really want to do the other stuff here as well. It's tough, but it's worth your time. Now you're going to want to spend some money here on a few different pieces of gear for this next area. Only because what you're going to be facing in this area, there's going to be a few different fights, and you're going to want some gear to equip accordingly. This is going to be a few things. You want the rat tail. Now, there's a few things you're going to want to do here in this place. First things first, visit the weapons and armor shops. Those are your top priorities. All the guarding I did earlier can help if you remember all the guarding I did earlier ages ago. There's a few things you want. Well, first things first. Pretty much, you can buy shotguns here. I'm gonna buy a couple to replenish my stuff. If you're using a bow, that's good. If you want to use a rod, but really, you're bound to buy the blitz whip. It's a lightning whip. You're gonna want this for video. I don't think you can actually. She kind of clip something in her offhand, and that's fine. Now, as for the armor shop, it only sells 2 pieces of equipment, but they're both ones you're gonna want for some people. But you have to come over to it, and I'll show you what I mean. There's a lot of few things you're gonna want to do. This is the armor. Yeah, you have a bomb actually running your armor. You want this really? You want one of these for her. One of these for Cecil. Because he also resists instant death. Now, there's a potential option you could buy a luminous robe for one of the battles coming up. A spare one for Cecil. Only for his temporary item. But it's a bit pricey, so if you're not willing to don't have the money or you're not willing to spend it, such as me, don't bother. This house is, well, yeah. In the DS version, this is White's house. Some different stuff happens. But you'll figure that out if you play that version. I'm going to save those summer drops for later. But I'm going to use a cottage here. Better to use a cottage than bother spending that money at the inn. For me, I think that's a better option. Anyway. I don't have a lot of money now, because I bought a lot of stuff. Now, few things you're going to want to, few things you can do here, but I'm going to end this episode here, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next episode. Shapes Infantry signing out. Join this episode. Next episode, we're going to go over a few